welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I'm going to be finally sharing my labor and delivery experience, and I'm also going to be just quickly catching you guys up on my postpartum appointment because I just got that done about a week ago. I'm just going to start off with my labor and delivery. Like you guys know from my pregnancy updates, I was getting contractions but they weren't consistent, and that happened all up until my 39-week and 1-day mark. And on that day, it was like a Sunday, we had all went out to breakfast that morning to IHOP, and that morning I was okay, and then I got to IHOP and I started noticing I was getting like contractions, and they were getting a little bit, intense, and they felt like they were getting closer together. I started feeling very uncomfortable just sitting in one spot, so I, decided to go use the restroom because I had to get up and walk around because just sitting in one spot like hurt. And I went to the bathroom, used the restroom, and then I went to go wash my hands, and I felt out of nowhere a gush come out, and I was like, what was that, and I didn't think it was, pee because I had already used the restroom. So I went back into the stall, checked myself. It looked like a white, thicker substance, so I knew it wasn't pee, but I was like, whoa, this is weird. I thought my water had broke, but then, I don't know if you've ever been pregnant or if you ever had your water break. You can kind of push down on your muscles, and then you could feel it coming out more and more, but that didn't happen with me. When I got back to the table, I started timing my contractions and just keeping an eye on them, and I started noticing that they were about 2 to 3 minutes apart. And then after breakfast, we ended up driving back home, and I, started getting all my stuff together. I did not film a what's my bag for the hospital because, of course, my procrastinating self did not pack until that day. I packed my bag, packed my son's bag, and made sure my husband had things that he needed, and then we ended up going to the hospital, and this was probably around 1 o'clock, I want to say. So I checked into labor and delivery, and the nurse checked me to see if I was dilated. At this point, I was already 5 centimeters dilated. After she checked me, she went to go contact my doctor to let him know that I was here, I was 5 centimeters, and if he wanted me to stay, and of course he was like, yeah, stay. I had hung out for about 2 hours, and they had asked me if I wanted the epidural, and the contractions were there. They were 2 to 3 minutes apart. Yeah, they felt intense, but they were something that I could still bear. I don't know if my body was just so used to the contractions because I was having those inconsistent contractions for the last 2 weeks prior to that, but my body was just handling the labor really, really well. So when they had asked me if I wanted the epidural, I told them that I didn't want it at that time because I could still, handle the contractions, and I just didn't want to waste the epidural just like that. I was progressing every hour that she had checked me. So in the midst of labor and all that going on, I was feeling amazing. I did not have any problems whatsoever, as I was just hanging out. I didn't need the epidural up until about 8 centimeters, and I was editing videos, which is crazy, while I was in labor, and I was Snapchatting my girlfriends and keeping them updated about what was going on, and the nurse even came in and was like, are you okay? You seem really calm, and it's just really weird that you're so calm because you're 6 centimeters dilated and you're acting like you're only 1 centimeter dilated. And I was like, yeah, I'm good, I'm just hanging out. She just thought it was really, really crazy how calm I was during this whole process. I hung out up until 8 centimeters, and then I had requested to get my epidural because I didn't want to go to 9 centimeters and then be like, oh, well, we can't give it to you, and then me regret not getting it because I'll probably be in pain while pushing or whatever. So then I was like, yeah, let me get the epidural now so I can, get that in my system just in case I need it. And they put me on the lowest dose. After I got my epidural, my doctor came in to see me. He broke my water, and then he checked me. He said I was at 9 centimeters and I'm gonna be about, ready to push. I was like, okay, cool. I probably have another hour or so. As he left, he came back within a couple minutes, and a few other nurses came in and wheeled in the crib and all that stuff, and I was like, what's going on? Am I gonna be pushing now? Because I had no idea it was gonna happen that fast. And of course he put his scrubs on and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm pushing. I pushed for about 15 minutes, and then he came out. and I was like so surprised that he came that fast because it took me an hour and a half to push my daughter out, and my son turned out bigger than my daughter. My daughter was 6 pounds 11 ounces, and my son ended up being 7 pounds 9 ounces. So I was just like so astonished at how I pushed him out so quick, but it was really easy. I think I tore just a little bit, which, you know, they were able to sew up with stitches, and I just had a really, really smooth labor and delivery. I thought my daughter was easy, but my son was way easier. Pain-wise, I didn't have any pain whatsoever. When he came, I was very emotional. I couldn't believe he was here, and he was just so adorable. I fell in love with him like right away. The hospital and the doctor that I had were phenomenal. They definitely took care of me. I'm just really, really lucky and very thankful that I didn't have any complications. I ended up staying for about 2 days, and then they released my son and I. Then I had to come back for my postpartum appointment in 4 weeks. So 4 weeks, I came back. My doctor said my uterus and everything was back in place and everything looked great and I healed well, and he said I could go back to doing, you know, strenuous activities, going to the gym, running, swimming, whatever. Of course, the day that I got home from my postpartum appointment, I went and got my like gym clothes on and went straight to the gym. I was like, I gotta go. I also got put on birth control while I went to my postpartum appointment. I'm taking the pill if you were wondering. So before I wrap things up, I do want to show you guys my postpartum stomach, and just to give you guys like the after. So here that is. This is my 4.5-week postpartum stomach. I didn't get any stretch marks on my stomach, which I was really surprised because I really thought that I was going to end up getting it. Now it's just all up to toning it and getting it back to where it was. Other than that, that's everything. I don't have any horror stories to tell you or anything like that. My labor, my delivery, I'm just so happy that everything went as smooth as can be, and I'm very happy that my son's here. Everything's been going great so far. I can't believe he's already a month old. He turned a month on the 13th. My daughter is in love with him. She always wants to help out, and she always wants to hold him, and you know, she's always like telling him good morning, and she's just obsessed with him. I think it's the cutest thing. She's very nurturing, and I guess, you know, that's just like the girl inside her, and she cannot get enough of him at all, so I just love that. I did feature him in my July favorites, but I'm just gonna bring him back in just in case you haven't seen him. This is Caden, everybody, and everyone is telling me that he looks just like my husband, and I swear he does. Like, my mother-in-law showed me pictures of him when he was a baby, and I'm looking at like my son as a baby, and they look like spin image of each other. It's crazy. I do have more pictures of him on my personal Instagram, which I will have around this area, so if you guys wanted to check that out, then definitely search it up. That's everything. Thank you so much for being part of this pregnancy and, you know, sticking around on this journey. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever, just comment down below and let me know what's up. Like this video if you love pregnancy updates and enjoyed mine. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll also list my Twitter, my Facebook, and my Instagram around this area, so definitely go check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.